Hello, and dear friends. Today I would like to talk about a Latin American musician who influenced and determined the rock and roll scene in Latin America. And the multi-instrumentalist Carlos Alberto Garcia Moreno, uh, better known is Charlie Garcia, born on October 23 in Buenos Aires, Argentina. At the age of 4, he surprised his family by assuring them that a guest musician had one of his guitar strings of the tone. And he was right. A year later, he would prove that they had the gift of absolute hearing as one. At the age of 12, he was already a classical music concert performer. While at the school, he met Nito Mestre, a friend with whom he formed his first group called Sui Generis, and which already hinted at the prolific quality of the musician, managing to release 3 discographic records and live in 1972, Confession of Writer 1973, and Short Anecdotes About the Hesitations 1974. In 1978, a parade with a project called Seru Giran, and which was formed by first-class musicians and enjoyed great recognition in the lineup were names like Charlie Garcia and vocals, keyboards, and guitars, David Lebon vocals and guitars, Pedro Aznar bass, keyboards, and vocals, y Oscar Moro drums. Already for the 80s, he formed his career as solid, releasing 6 albums. At this the time, consolidate through his music as the first figure of rock in Spanish, achieving memorable shows like the one in 1982, and that being the first presentation as a solist. He set fire to the stage when they played No Bombardee in Buenos Aires in protest of the Malvinas War. By the 90s, and he was already a public figure, reaching the threshold of musical genius and at the same time the limit of excess. As the musician went through scandals and 8 records production, among which we can highlight works such as Cheap Philosophy and Rubber Shows and The Dagger of the Tear, an album in which he began to approach um, the concept of Say No More, and which he will never abandon, and taking as a reference to a Beatles movie. And the first Latin American musicians and unplugged for MTV, which exposed the virtuosity that the musician retained in the execution of the piano and the guitar. The first decade of the 2000s surprised the whole world when he threw himself from the ninth floor of a hotel in Mendoza into the pool. The worst thing was that he got out of the pool as if nothing happened and justified that a policeman did not want to let him out of his room. and should he decide to throw himself from the balcony. Crazy, very crazy. At this time, the artist lowered the level of musical productions, and the ghost of the excess continues to surround his environment and present repeated and tries to the and repeated and tries to detoxification. Clinics for this period include the production of a new album of Sui Generis, accompanied by a tour in 2000. Wall launched Influence, an album that was very well received by both critics and fans. The last work of the artist is from 2007 and 17 and Random, an album full of his own songs and that had more than a decade in not launching as a such work of his own was presented with the single The Machine of Happiness, and that exposed a much clearer artist but full of harmonies and melodies, and that made him a benchmark of music in Spanish. Thank you.